Hello and welcome to another video from Cloud Vaping UK. My name's Peter, and today I'm going to really talk about, or the topic is, are e-cigarettes a healthier option to smoking? And the reason I've chosen this topic is because there seems to be a lot of contradictions lately, and it must be very confusing for people just starting out, thinking about, and you're sitting at home thinking about switching to e-cigarettes from cigarettes, and then some report comes out from somebody saying, e-cigarettes can cause cancer, and so why jump from the frying pan into the fire, sort of thing. Now, just to be clear, I am not a medical expert, and I am not in any way, shape or form medically qualified to say whether or not e-cigarettes are safer. All I can do is I can kind of like sift through some of the chaff and come to a conclusion. And recently, and the reason I'm doing this is because recently there's been some reports, or a report actually in particular, which was a very low-key report, a very, very basic experiment done by a scientist in America. And on the back of this, somebody called on social media and on YouTube an organization called Unilab. Unilab got hold of it, and they regurgitated the story. Now, this to me is nonsense because, you know, Unilad is a spoof kind of joke, you know, play silly videos, make people laugh, do daft pranks, get a load of clicks through YouTube, make some money type of people. And for them to then repost what is a serious topic, and then make out that this report is gospel and that all e-cigarettes are now suddenly bad. What they didn't tell you, and what they failed to mention, the counter argument by that actual report was completely rebuked by Cancer Research UK. As soon as that report was launched, they did a counter report clearly stating that in their opinion, and I prefer their opinion to Unilad, in their opinion, e-cigarettes are a much safer option than smoking. A couple of days later, this was followed up by a report by Public Health England, which they posted a summary of the research they had done and the facts and figures that they had collated, and they also supported the fact that e-cigarettes are a much safer option. Nobody is suggesting they are totally safe yet, and nobody is suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that long-term use of e-cigarettes may do you some harm. What they do all say, though, certainly the public bodies in the UK, forget the nonsense from America. I'll come on to that in a minute. But what they do say is that e-cigarettes are a much safer option than tobacco cigarettes. Now, not only are they a much safer option, but they are a 95% safer option. So when the likes of these idiots on social media post negative reports and comments about e-cigarettes, somebody's sitting at home and reads that, and it puts them off switching to e-cigarettes. Now, to me, that's dangerous, because if you want to quit smoking and you think e-cigarettes are the way to help you quit smoking, you've tried all the other options, you've tried the Nicorette patches and all the rest of it, and they haven't worked, you know, to then be put off trying e-cigarettes because somebody has rehashed a report for nothing more than their own publicity is actually quite dangerous, because if switching to e-cigarettes saves just one person from catching some nasty disease later in their life, then surely it's worth doing. So to be very irresponsible about it is just downright bad crack, basically. And there are more and more reports coming out now. In fact, I just read something yesterday that the authorities in Singapore are now are thinking about and are going to probably reverse their decision to ban e-cigarettes and make them more readily available as an alternative to smoking. So, and when these reports come out, but yet still, I'm getting people coming into my shop telling me, I had a woman in the other day, mind you, she wasn't very bright, but I had a woman in the other day, her husband was actually using the e-cigarettes, not her. And she was saying, mind you, I don't know why he wants to buy it, use an e-cigarette. They're more dangerous than cigarettes. Eh? I said, where did you get that from? I've read it online. I said, well, you're reading that, you can get popcorn lung. No, you can't. That's been put to bed a long time ago, and yet people are still coming in and regurgitating this rubbish. And, and the trouble is, when you quite often see something or hear something about even just popcorn lung, and then you look at the date of the report they're talking about, it's dated like 2016 or something. And it's been put to bed since then. Diacetyl can cause popcorn lung. But certainly in the UK, America, the EU, diacetyl's been banned in e-liquids anyway. And on top of that, cigarettes contain 200% more diacetyl than e-liquids ever did. And yet they don't ban diacetyl in cigarettes. It's ridiculous. It's massive, massive hypocrisy, the whole bloody thing. But, us in the vaping industry, we've got to try and be subjective about it. And I think in time, attitudes will change and are changing. I think it's a little bit of a worry to see that e-cigarette use or e-cigarette take-up has plateaued a little bit. It was on the rise for 3 or 4 years, probably longer. Now it seems to have plateaued a little bit. And I think this is partly because a lot of the people who now still smoke and would think about switching to e-cigarettes are too nervous about doing it. So they need a little bit more encouragement. Now the trouble is that the only things I see on social media still that people share and retweet or whatever is the sensational negative reports, Daily Mail stuff, instead of retweeting and sharing Public Health England, instead of retweeting and sharing Cancer Research UK's reports, because they aren't sensational. They're actually quite dull and boring. Public Health England lists a load of statistics, and it doesn't make for good reading because it's boring, it's dull, but it's factual and correct as far as they're concerned at the time of writing. So, we've got to take things and realise that there are people out there who will use this subject just to be sensational. And they've got an agenda. Unilad has an agenda. Their agenda is to get as many clicks as possible, many millions or thousands of clicks through YouTube so they can make money. It's as simple as that. Now, that's all they're interested in is clicks. And reporting something from Public Health England is probably not going to get them as many clicks as some sort of Mickey Mouse scientist in America who built a machine that blew vapor constantly for several months onto some cells, and those cells changed. Well, if you blew vape onto me constantly for several months, I'm bloody sure I would change, you know. So you got to put things into perspective a little bit. And but look, a lot of people don't. They just read the headline, and that's all uni lads interested in, and other people like them, you know. So that's me rant over. There's a blog on the website on this very, very subject, and I'll attach this video to it at cloudvapinguk.co.uk. So feel free to have a read of that. There are links there to the reports at Public Health England and Cancer Research UK. If you want to have a bit more in-depth read, please do, because they will give you a much more sensible attitude towards vaping and e-cigarettes than some idiot who just wants clicks on YouTube. Although I like clicks on YouTube, but I don't get many, and I don't make any money from it. So have a read of them, please. Look at the sensible reports rather than the sensational ones, and put your mind at rest that all the reports coming out and all of the research being done is showing that e-cigarettes are a much healthier option than smoking tobacco. And you've got a lot more options in terms of, you know, you can adjust the nicotine strength. You can't do that with tobacco. You know, you can adjust the airflow so that you're getting more or you're getting less vapor into your lungs. You can't do that with cigarettes. So there's a lot more advantages to e-cigarettes than there is to using cigarettes. And some wonderful flavours as well. You can actually enjoy. And you won't stink of fags afterwards either. Fantastic. You'll just smell of strawberries. Lovely. Right. Thank you very much for watching. And please feel free to follow the links, which I'll try and put below if I can work out how to do it. I'm still new to all this nonsense. And take care of yourself, and happy vaping. Thank you. Bye.